Digging up a propane tank. You can hear me. It's a 1,000-gallon underground propane tank. That septic tank's some dirty work. Pass on that. Morning, everybody. Everybody's having a good day. Middle of the week, getting over the hump. Got to be making some moonshine, but make some dollars. No, some dollars this way today. So this tank here is no longer going to be used, and they wanted it removed. So this is a 15,000-pound excavator, little John Deere 60. Tank is empty, so it won't be hard to get it out of the ground. I got a crane on site as well, so you know this here's fairly simple job for this little excavator. I wonder how many of us are at work right now watching TikTok. That's right. It's almost like watching somebody cut grass. You know, it's one of those things where it's a little bit of instant gratification. It's really boring, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's kind of cool to watch. The main reasons I got on today, just so I could share a little stuff with you, hang out. Got to be careful not to put some teeth in the side of the propane tank. That'd make for a bad morning. The tank is empty. Yeah, you can use one of these to clear some land. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. You know, a lot of it good for foundations. They're good tearing out retaining walls and things like that. They're handy. I will say that it's better to get something a little bit bigger than you think you might need. They just make the job easier at the end of the day, simply because you get a bucket, right? And if the dirt's wet, like this dirt right here is really dry, so it's no big deal. If you have a lot of wet dirt, it's really heavy. So when you're out off the side like this, it can make it can make your butt pucker a little bit, with it rocking around and stuff like that. I think I got a rock there. Looks like a big rock. They're very handy though, and once you learn how to run them, they're actually. I personally really enjoy it. Something about it. Like as a kid, I was always playing in the dirt. This is one of those things that you get to do when you get older. It's like being a big old kid. sure I can see this tank and get close to about where it should be, the top of it. So I get eyes on the top. So I think that was it. Then I can kind of work my way around the side of it. Appreciate y'all joining the live this morning. Just kind of hanging out, playing in the dirt. That's the tank. That's a little bucket. That was a rookie bucket. All right, let's see it. So now I'm in the sand. So when they put these in the ground, they put sand around them in the hole. And I know when I get into that sand, I'm really close to the body of the tank. You can also see the lifting lug at the end. Now, I'm sure it's probably a little hard for you guys to see, but the lifting lug is visible on the end now. So that's good, because that's ultimately what we're going to hook to once we get this dirt removed. And I'm going to pull it out of the ground. This ground around here. What's up, Noble Tuggy? Ground here, around here is got some pretty good rock in it. But that rock don't stand a chance with this thing. I'm getting it out of there. I appreciate the likes. Here and trying to be gentle, just coming right across the top. Just in case you're wondering, this isn't my Mini. This is a rented Mini. It's what I used to do before I came to the job I'm at currently. Been at this one for 15 years, but used to run heavy equipment in another life. This tank is empty, so even if for some reason we did put a hole in the side of it, it might make a little bit of noise for a second, and then it would be done. We obviously don't want to do that, though. Nice brisk morning here in southern Ohio. Cool, 48 degrees. I am not a cold weather person. like to be down there with some of my friends down in Florida. Yeah, where you at, Kentucky? It's supposed to be fairly warm this weekend, though. I'm thinking they said something around 75 degrees for us, which is fantastic. Southeast, I guess. Hope you all are enjoying this. It's a big rock down in that corner right there. You guys can see the tank there. Right on the back side here, and I'm gonna try to work it. Get some dirt out around the corner. It's a little tricky to do, but it has to be done. So what happens is these tanks will, from time to time, they'll put they get a vacuum underneath them. If the water table is kind of high, the tank wants to stick in the ground. They don't want to come out and create like a suction cup. It's a challenge when they do that. Luckily, where we are, we're kind of on the side of a hill here. This side of the hill drains really, really well. Plus, it's a rocky base. Comes out nice and easy. Should, we'll say. I'm gonna stay on live here for a little while. And then once it gets real good and boring, I'll probably jump off for a little bit, and then we go to move it out of the ground. Maybe I'll jump back on. Usually I make moonshine, but y'all may like to see this. Thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate that. This is really for you guys. I don't really care too much. Share. Appreciate it. You may have some friends that might enjoy this. It's kind of like watching paint dry for some, I'm sure. I like to start on one end and then just work my way back. At times, you can have your walls, if you're not using boxes, trench boxes as I call them, if you're not using those boxes, you can have your walls kind of cave in. I obviously don't want that to happen, and never want anybody to have to deal with that if they're in the hole. Dangerous. So, what's everybody doing this morning? Other than watching me playing in dirt. Pile's getting bigger. See, they're making easy money right there. They're watching me work. I don't blame them though. On this job, they're basically my eyes. They make sure I'm getting close to the tank or things are not looking on the up and up. They let me know, and I immediately stop digging. They will also guide me when I get real close to the center stem of the tank. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for the likes. Everybody's having a good morning. We are playing in the dirt. Oh yeah, Noble Tucky, I tell you what, there was a gentleman that they were building a new house close to where I live, and about 12 foot down in the ground, they were just about to put the box into the hole, and unfortunately that wall gave in. The gentleman that was in the hole did make it. And so it's just something that, it's always on your mind when you're digging holes and you got people in a hole. You always worry about your guys and worry about, guys or gals. You worry about them, want to make sure they're safe. So I try not to take any risks that aren't needed. Glad your dad. It's okay. Yeah, hopefully y'all can see that propane tank pretty good. I'm gonna have to move here in a second, reposition myself so I can get to this other side. Just trying to do as much as I could without moving. It's nothing to play around with. That is for sure. Grab me just a couple more scoops on this side here, and I'm going to move. Big rock down in there and give me fits. It's hard to see down in there. I am not replacing the tank. Thanks for the question. This one here, this house is going all geothermal. I think it's geothermal they're doing here, and they are no longer going to use propane. So they wanted the tank removed. They're going to build a big pole barn, and I'm here to do just that for them. I think some people get a little nervous just because it is a propane tank, but just like anything, if you do things the right way, you're safe. It's just as safe as anything else. Obviously you don't want to run your fork straight into the tank. You want to get to the side of it, take your time, and always make sure you have eyes on every part of the tank that you're digging here. Thanks for the question. Thanks, Noble Tucky. Like I said, I used to run them a lot. I really, really do enjoy it. Obviously, it's not what I do anymore, but sometimes my friends will reach out and ask me to do something for them. It's one of those things, though. It's like anything. Once you learn how to do it, nice and easy. Be a pain if your machine's too small. I can't recommend getting a big enough machine enough. Sometimes they're just, if they don't have enough power, it makes it a real challenge. Thanks for the follow. So this side, we've definitely got some rock. If you can see the yellow pipe sticking up there, that is a gas line that used to feed a house off of this tank. It's obviously been decommissioned, and there's no gas in that line. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Yeah, definitely a lot of rock in this area here. But the nice thing is, the ground is rather dry. It's been a rather dry 4 or 5 weeks here in southern Ohio. Plus where we're digging at's on the side of a hill. So a lot of that water from the water table there kind of runs off. It's kind of nice. those of you that have joined, this is a 1,000-gallon propane tank that is being decommissioned. There's definitely some slate rock in there. So I'm going to come up real close to the side of that tank. So that bucket's mostly sand. That's good. If you joined recently, the sand was put in when they put the tank in. They put sand right up next to the tank. So when I'm digging these out, I look for that sand. I know I'm getting really close to the body of the tank. Just like everybody, when you go to dig a hole, if you've got to buy sand to put back in it, you're going to use the least amount possible. So it's usually right up next to that tank. Makes pretty good progress here, though. There we go. That's what that rock was, right there. Down in the clay. And again, I like to get down towards the bottom of the tank. Dig it just deep enough where it's level with the bottom of the tank. That way, when we go to remove it, kind of rock it back and forth, and it comes out easier. I believe it's safer that way as well. Appreciate the likes, everybody. This one's going real nice here. Again, that yellow line, if you can see at the bottom of your screen there, that is the old gas line. The round thing sticking up is the collar. So with the propane tank, you're going to have a stem that runs in there. You may have one at your house and know exactly what I'm talking about. Inside that stem is where all your valves are going to be. Those valves, how you fill the tank, how you pump out the tank, how you get the gas into your regulators that eventually get into your house. Where's everybody from this morning? Some good rock right down in there. Got a little shake action going. Camera angle's probably making me nauseous. I don't think that that rock's going to matter too much where I'm at. I'm going to try to just dig around it. They obviously left it in the ground when they put this tank in. So try to knock some of this dirt around this outside edge here. That will ultimately help me get that out. I think I'm probably about deep enough here as well. So again, what I'll end up doing is I will back up a little bit and reposition the machine to where I can get a little bit closer down here. So, go, raise up. Round sphere propane tanks. Are you talking about a perfectly round one? So I can tell you that World War II, in that era, they turned old mines into propane tanks. You don't see many of them anymore. But it's really cool when you do. They look like, I mean, exactly what they are is mines. Perfectly round, cylindrical. Yep. Yeah, they're really neat. It's kind of cool that they repurposed that stuff. You see some of those in the Midwest, out in the country. Pile's definitely growing. It's probably about 8 feet tall now. Um, it's definitely going nice and smooth this morning. Appreciate you all joining in. I hope you find a little bit of entertainment out of this. I definitely enjoy the dig. Make pits out of them, yeah. So uh, if you're looking for smokers and things like that, if you go to your propane companies, sometimes they may have scrap old tanks. Um, they may sell you one. I've seen where people will put a winch, they'll cut it in half, they'll put a winch, weld some hooks onto it, and that will raise the top up, and they make giant smokers out of it, and it's really awesome. It's crazy when you see how much dirt comes out of these little holes. Um, it's pretty wild, to say the least. As you can see, turn this down a little bit. There you go. See a little better. There's a little bit of rock on this corner. It doesn't appear to want to come out, so we're going to leave it in the hole. And I'm just going to go right along the side here. I think as of right now, it's going to work out just fine. Yeah, this is about halfway done. I hope everybody has a wonderful day today. So I'm going to come back just a couple more feet here. I appreciate the likes. Try to get right around this collar here. A little bit of finesse. There we go. Now you can really see it. That's what we needed. If you can see it, it means I can see it. Coming right along. Thank you everybody for joining the live this morning. Hope everybody's having a good day. I sound like a broken record, but Hope everybody is having a good day. Oh, there we go. Welcome to the party. We're digging out a propane tank. There we go. Looking good. The yellow line is the old gas line that fed this house. Appreciate the likes, everybody. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Making some really good progress here. Right up next to it. So this end down here, from the way this was, this is a hillside. This end down here will actually have less dirt on top of the tank, just because of the actual grade that we're digging on. If you're wondering, this is a 1,000 gallon tank. Oh, there we go. Has anybody ran one of these before that are in here? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Try to not take out my labor. Raise this up a little bit here. Appreciate everybody joining today. That middle of the week, if you're struggling, at least you can watch me work. Maybe you're at work and you're getting paid to watch me work. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to position myself onto this side here. The way I'm doing is I line my machine right up with the tank. I have a little bit of, I can move it left, I can move it right. But I like to get it where I can just go right perfectly next to the tank, real nice and easy. Let's see here. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. As my hobby, I like to make some homemade liquor. So a lot of basically all my content is moonshine. So if you're interested in that and you're not following, then give me a follow. We'll do a little bit of stuff on here. Wow, it's getting rather large. Oh, yeah, there we go. Everybody's having a good day. I'm running a John Deere Oh, I don't have any clue what I'm doing. I'm running a John Deere 60. It's a 15,000 pound excavator. It's definitely my first time. I'm about in the middle. I'm not. This machine is brand new, so it's not real loud. Hopefully, it's not too loud on your end. I don't typically run them wide open. I don't run them right down the bottom. So. Those of you that have recently joined, this is a 1,000-gallon propane tank that is being decommissioned. We are taking this out of the ground. I think they're all pretty jumpy. By jumpy, I mean it's kind of rough. When you're running a mini, let me move this. This thing's trying to focus on the wrong spot. There you go. When you're running a mini, they're. I feel like the smaller they are, the rougher they are. Yeah, I think you're gonna have that though, no matter what. But as far as controls go, it's nice and smooth. Smooth as silk. Thank you. Back up. We have almost got this thing uncovered. Bring the blade down. The blade will definitely help with it rocking around, beating you to death. I mean, I wouldn't want these without the blade down anyway, but it definitely makes a big difference which way it's facing and how high you have it or how low you have it, I should say, how far down you have it. This one here is a 15,000 pound. Does a pretty good job lifting. I like to say if you have the right machine for the job, they make it a lot easier. You spend less time messing with things if you have the right machine. Some people will try to, go get a machine and it's not big enough for what they need, and it ends up taking them way longer than it should have. Time's money, if you ask me. So, thanks for the follows. Thanks for the likes. So if you're young, I can tell you this is it's a good type of job. If you like digging in the dirt, construction type stuff, pays pretty well. You do this for a living. So we're getting pretty close down there. That's all rock there, if you hear that. So this tank has probably been in the ground 25 years. They will last a long time if they're taken care of. This one here doesn't look bad for being in the dirt that long. Hope everybody's having a great day. Just a little bit more, we should be really close to being able to get a hold of this bad boy. Yeah, I'm in southern Ohio here, so uh, the area I'm in has a lot of good dirt. If you go a little south of here, it's definitely more shale rock or bedrock, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, dirt's not bad. There's some spots in this area that I'm in right now that have literally 3 to 4 feet of topsoil. It is the craziest thing. Where I live, I dig about 6 inches down and I'm all in just garbage dirt. So I would love to have some of that topsoil. Thank you for the follows. For likes. Looks like as far as the hole goes, we got about deep enough all the way down this side here. Some of that rock we're talking about. And that tank just got underneath the corner and was able to get it to come up. So it should come out of the hole fairly easy now. It's clearly my first time doing this. Like I said, if this is something that you'd be interested in, it's a good job. Sometimes you have to drive around different job sites and stuff, and the pay is pretty decent. If you like to be outside, like to work in the dirt. I just like to run machinery, to be honest with you. We're right down the corner now. We're almost there. Thank you for the follows. See the edge of the tank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition myself one last time, and then we are going to lift this thing right out of the ground. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. This is a propane tank, Adam. This is a 1,000 gallon underground propane tank. This tank is no longer going to be used, clearly. This location will not use propane. They've switched to a different source for heat. And there's going to be a driveway right over top of where this tank is sitting. The shed to my right, I don't know if you've seen it, as I've turned, there's a shed directly to my right. That's going to get tore down. Put a driveway here to a big pole barn out in the back, and I'm going to do a pool as well. It's going to be really cool once they're done with it. I'm just here for today. Going to get this tank out of the ground for them, and I'm going to be on my way. This tank's been in the ground quite a long time. You got a tree directly above me, so I'm trying not to clip the branches as much as possible. Septic tanks are done about the same way. This part of the septic tank is easy. I should say easy. It's a better job. It doesn't smell as bad. Putting them in, taking old septic tanks out would be a little, maybe a little stinky. You can see by my bucket right there to the left, that is the collar of the tank. That's where all the valves are inside that tank right there. That protects all the valves. So as the dirt moves, the ground shifts or anything like that, those valves are safe. I appreciate the likes, everyone, and the shares and the follows. I don't know if you've seen that, but that whole tank just moved. So we are getting really close. Thank you for the likes, Bandit. Appreciate that. Top here. Looks like I should have this just about dug out. If you're hanging around, we're gonna maybe get this thing out of the ground here in just a few minutes. If you want to do this kind of work, you should do it. Follow your dreams, man, or ma'am, either way. Try to be politically correct here. It's a good job. I do this for a company that I work for. I used to run heavy equipment and I loved it. I ended up getting into something a little different, and I've always enjoyed the times where I can get back out and do some of it. If it's something you want to do, I highly recommend you do it. may have to start off doing, running rollers or something for asphalt or something along those lines. But at the end of the day, it's 100% worth it. So this right there where my teeth are, you can see the lifting lugs of the tank. That's what we're going to hook onto. We're going to lift it out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this morning. So I'm going to move just a little bit. Get the guy to back in here. Go ahead and get your truck and back in right here. Hook to this lug. It should come out. All right, here we go. Bring this up a little bit. Tuck everything in. And then try to reposition myself just a little bit. Again, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me this morning. Hope everybody's having a great day. This tank is going to come out of the ground here in just a few minutes. We're almost there. Guy hook and chain. Hook both of those hooks on the lifting lug and then put the ring. You may have to double it up on one of the teeth. Everybody's having a good day. The guy is right over here, just out of the camera view. He's getting ready to put a chain on this onto this bucket. Yeah. The customer just said if there's any gold or oil, he's property rights. Gotta love it. All right. Go ahead and get down into the hole or get down into there and hook both of those ends to the lifting lug. Here, I'll move the bucket. All right. Got a man in the hole. It kind of gives you a little bit of perspective of the hole. It's not real deep. One end is probably about 8 feet deep. Hey, John, just this end. That loud beeping that you hear is a truck with a small crane on it coming in, and that truck is going to lift it out completely. I'm going to try and hook onto it, make sure everything's good and loose. You're clear, you can go out. It's all right. Yep, clear. All right, here we go. Let's see. It's going to be high enough. There it is. All right, she's moving. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up. I'm going to have that crane come in, and they're going to lift it out. We're going to put this dirt back in the hole. Those of you that have joined, that is a 1,000 gallon underground propane tank. This customer is no longer going to use this. Do what? All right, that's fine. Let me move. Good morning, everyone. Really, just come back to here to where you're out. Yeah, just come right out. Yep. All right, so I'm going to move out of the way. I want to make sure you guys get to see this, especially all you that's been hanging around, waiting for this bad boy to come out of the ground. I want to make sure you see it. All right, here we go. Grab this for you. Hey, Backwoods, I didn't know that you were in here. Good to see you. The customer is, so they actually converted, he told me just a minute ago that he converted to natural gas. They have natural gas in this area now, and they decided to go natural gas. So I'm going to get you a better look at what we got. About 16 feet long. That thing sticking up out of the top is a collar which protects all the valves. Those of you that were wondering, this is the little machine. This is a 60. 15,000 pound excavator. Propane is kind of expensive now. Then again, what isn't? You know, it's clean gas though. Burns clean. It's probably one of the better ones for the environment. All right. So if you can see, we've got some trees up here. We're gonna try to not break any limbs here. Thank you for the likes and the follows. That's clear. Go up. Rotate. So what we're going to do, we're going to hook onto the end here. That red piece, we call that the block. Oh, big easy. We are removing a propane tank out of the ground. We're about ready to get this bad boy out of here. We've been digging it up this morning. It will come out nice and smooth. John, hook one side on the other side now.
Oh, did you already pop it?
Yeah, it's loose. I got it. It's already up. Okay. Bring it to your house, pop it behind your barn. It ain't got nothing in it. I mean, if you cut it in half, you could make a smoker out of it. Crane does 360 degrees. Appreciate the likes, everybody, and the follows. This should come out nice and easy here. You may have to raise the mast up a little bit. You can try it like that though. All right. Let him come out of the hole. The yellow line you see right there is just the old gas line. Thank you. All right, she's moving. The moment we've all been waiting for right here. It's coming out of the ground. So I'll get back a little bit so you can see about the size of this tank. Big Easy, you know it. Nakoma gang. Yeah. So what they will do is they're going to spin this around, slide it on the back of that truck, and get it out of here. And I am going to put this mound of dirt back in the hole. Yes, this is someone's yard. Was. Now it's a it's a playground for excavators. Yep, that is a 1,000 gallon tank, Mike. Again, this tank held up really well. This tank is going to be permanently decommissioned, so we didn't really have to worry about scratching up the sides. If you're going to repurpose them, you obviously don't want to do that. They do have a protective coating on them. You want to keep that, as much of that on there as possible. I'm going to move my boom out of the way. You know what? That's exactly what this guy's going to end up doing, is putting a swimming pool in. Now, if you ask me, I say you throw a tarp in there, throw some water in it, you got yourself a pool. Mud pit. Hey, bring your mast, bring that in and then winch up. And that will help get it out of the trees a little bit. I actually work for a gas company. I'm one of the only operators that do this though. So I go around and if we need to remove a tank or something like that, I'll be the one that comes out and does it. You're gonna have to bring that down and then winch it up. You know, an underground pool in the house would be pretty daggone cool. I have to say so myself. So you can see the rough texture. That's just sand on there. Most of the coating is just the black paint there. So what we're trying to do here is we're up in the branches. We are trying to not break the branches here. Customer says they don't mind, however, we don't want to break the trees. You're just gonna have to go with it. Keep bringing it down and raising it up. If you spin it back to this direction and then bring it down underneath that one limb, you could probably get underneath it and then up. Here I am barking orders. These guys probably hate me. Down a little bit more, like towards me. Yep, and now rotate. Picture this as a smoker. Cut this bad boy in half. You want to talk about, yeah. You want to talk about a big smoker, that would be awesome. Put this bad boy on a trailer. Oh, yes. boom up. That makes me laugh. Easy. Just can't beat these old tanks for that. So he's about to sit that thing down on there, and then we're going to put the dirt back in the hole. Yeah, easy. It's going to be a good time, man. I'm really looking forward to it. It is definitely going to be a good time. Just went straight down, Greg. Yeah. If you're wondering, this tank is empty. No, I'd leave it. It's good. Strap it. So again, once they get that hooked up, I'm going to put this mountain back in the hole. Thank you for the likes. It is cool. If this is something you like to do, whether it's digging in the dirt, running skid steers, or laying asphalt, it's I highly recommend it. I really enjoy it. It doesn't. There's not a huge learning curve with it. Once you learn the controls and how everything works, it's pretty easy. So on the inside, I give you a look here. So it's the left stick. So left, right, up and down on the big center mast. This one here does the small one on the outside there. Back and out. And then the other is bucket curl. Dump. This one here. That runs your blade down on the ground. All the other buttons are basically just basic controls. Lights, horns. And then this is how you move it. Push these forward. These are basically your track controls. All right, so you push these forward, it goes forward. Turn left, pull your left one back, your right one forward. It's actually a pretty simple process. Throttles here. It goes into a low RPM when you're not moving. It's kind of nice. They're working with this, so they got to get around the branch and around that pipe. You're going to have to force that, Greg. You're going to have to just take it. Please be careful. Thanks for the follows. There you go, straight down. No, hang on, go back up. Hey, Greg, go up high, rotate, and then come back down. So the problem with that is if the crane's in the air, the truck will not move. Easy. Spin it this way. Oh my gosh. It's this first time. That ain't gonna work. But you know what? I'm gonna sit here and watch. He's trying. I'll give him that. Will it go down? That's what you needed right there. Turn it back to the right and drop it. OSHA has entered the chat. Oh shit, he's an asshole. Yeah. And I'm going to get set back up here and we're going to fill this hole in. I can't wait anymore. I have zero patience. Alright, throw this in my thing here. Slide around the back side while they're sticking with this. I'm gonna move. It's up to me, easy. I'd leave this bad boy sitting. Scrap it. It's all yours. So I'm going to try to position myself in a manner where I can drop this in and start throwing dirt. Tell them internet people are giving them shit now. Hey Greg, the internet people are giving you shit. he's Hey. All right. I think he's going to bring. You know, I would bring it by, man. You ever need me to run one of these easy, you just give me a call, buddy. I got you covered. We can do all kinds of stuff with it. I'm trying to work around my guy without taking him out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this down, and I'm going to take that front blade and I'm going to push the dirt into the hole, run over it a few times, and then off to the next job. Oh man, you know they would get them hammered. I bring it, you drive it. You know, it is kind of funny when you first start driving these things and you're like trying to figure out how to turn, you know, how to move it, how to make it, how to, you know, get a bucket of dirt. You gotta get a bucket of dirt, and it's like you doing this. You got about, I think you got a good bucket, you know, and it's got about that much dirt in it. But you learn quick. It happens. The nice thing is, if you learn on a case or you learn on a deer, the controls can be a little bit different. The older machines, you basically had to know how to run both. The new machines now, they all have a valve underneath the seat. Well, most of them are underneath the seat, where you can change the direction of the controls, right? So John Deere had different sets of controls versus maybe it was Caterpillar or something like that. But you had to know you had to run both. And of course, when you first started out, it was rather amusing because, you know, you're going to be just like right or left-handed. You're dominant with one hand over the other. And so your controls are going to be dominant one way over the other. Filling holes. You know, it is a good time. They're over there messing with that. I'm just going to let them mess with it. And then when they're done, when they give up, I'll go over there and do it. Some of the guys bitch at me because when they're trying to learn, I take the controls and I just do it because I don't like to wait. I'm really impatient. Character flaw. I don't like to wait on anything. So I'll grab the controls and I'll just take off and just start working. And, you know, unfortunately, that makes it where the guy has trouble learning. If he's struggling already, I should be helping him instead of taking taking it from him. So in this case, I'm going to let them tinker with it, and then when they finally have had enough, I'm going to go over there and help. Dirt goes in the hole so much faster than it comes out too. And I'm glad you all tuned in today and spent some time with me this morning. Just trying to make $1 here. Putting a hurting on this pile. Crazy thing though is when you go to start pushing it in, you get right on the edge. When you first drop in, there's a lot of, you go from solid ground to this loose dirt. It can really feel weird. Patient teacher is a good teacher. You got that right. And it's definitely something that I have been working on. I think anything that we do in life, we forget how it feels when somebody's starting off, they're trying to learn, and for us it's just second nature, and it can be discouraging for the person that's learning. It's definitely something that I got to keep in the forefront of my mind, If it ain't about dollars, it definitely don't make sense. Some of this, like I said, once I get the majority of this back into the hole, I should be able to push it with the front blade of this machine. This machine is rather strong. For a mini, anyway. It's no 300 cat. 350 cat. However, if you have small jobs around your house, you can rent these from just about anywhere. I prefer the John Deeres if I'm renting one. They tend to perform really well. So this guy, this customer, he's going to have to put more dirt into the hole. I let him know that ahead of time. He's going to end up building a driveway that's going to run right through here. So as you can see, that shed right there is going to it's going to be tore down, but he's got some stuff in there in storage right now that he's got to take care of first. I told him one good swoop with this bucket and I'll take it out for him, but he's like he wanted to get the stuff out first, which I understand. You don't want to see your stuff get buried in a hole. I mean, typically. So once I'm done, there is some dirt underneath this pile here where we started. I'm going to try to get as much the dirt off the top of the grass. I know he's going to put the driveway in anyway, but I try to leave things as good as possible after I'm done digging these up. he's going to have a lot of dirt to put back into this hole. So no matter what, that tank is a rather large tank. Yeah, it is a perfect shiner shed. I asked the guy about me tearing it down for him. I said, I don't have any problem doing it. Of course, I'm recording everything as well, so stay. Can't be too safe. I think in some manners, this, in a way you kind of get to tear stuff up, but then you get to fix something too, So it's, I don't know, fits my personality perfect. I love tearing stuff up. I'm definitely one of those guys too that likes to mow grass. You get to see that instant satisfaction. You get to see the grass being cut, going from something ugly to something nice. It's definitely how my brain works. Yeah, if that was my shed, that's exactly what I'd be doing there backwoods. Especially out where I'm at. I have no problem whatsoever using that shed for that. You might be able to see there's actually some grass there. So I'm really close to the yard. What's left of it, I should say. And then, once you get down to this final stuff where you don't want to dig into the dirt, try to leave the grass, you got to go a little bit slower. Because one just quarter-inch of a movement on a stick can dig a hole that you don't want. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I know there's going to be a driveway, but still, I like to do it as good as I possibly can. Yeah, absolutely. Customer was asking me a question there. I appreciate everybody that tuned in today. This was a nice little excavation. I wish I could do this every single day of my life. It's definitely going to need quite a bit of dirt in this hole. makes for the follows. Just about to where I can use my blade and push the rest of this in. This dirt's actually really dry, which makes everything so much easier. The drier the dirt, the easier it is. When it all is mud and sticking in your bucket. I would use a dozer, however, it's not enough to bring a dozer out. You know, if it was going to be a bigger job than what it is, then I definitely would do that. But in this case, it's just a small little job moving a little tank. You know, a dozer would kind of be overkill for it. But yeah, that's a good question. I mean, because that's, you know, like I said, if I had a bunch of these or a lot of space to do this out here, I would definitely have a dozer on site. Because at the end of the day, time's money. So the less time I'm spending messing with this stuff, the better off it'll be. So I'm going to move myself just a little bit. Let's see if we get a little push of this here. Again, I want to be pretty careful next to the edge of that wall where we dug. That wall gives way. It's not a fun ride in any kind of machine when you go over. We'll just say that. Try to push as much in this hole as I can. Right there, about as close as I want to get. Tilt this down so you can see a little bit more of what we're doing here. This is in southern Ohio, Grizzly. And not too far north of Cincinnati. About a half hour north of Cincinnati, Ohio. Is it not? Is the winch not doing anything?
It's not fucking.
Is the PTO running?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just leave it. When I get done with this, I'll come over there. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I'll look.
It's like I'll just look at it.
Yeah. So he's got an issue with the crane. There's a sensor on the end of it, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I don't know. When you put the ends up in the trees like that, it kind of, you know, moves some of the adjustments on those sensors. So, not real sure without looking at it, but that's what I'll do here in a minute. Try to get some of this put in here. Yeah, Columbus isn't far from here. Columbus is an hour and a half, maybe. Hopefully you're a Buckeye fan, right? This is kind of like a dozer, just it feels a lot weirder than what a dozer feels like. Oh, you're no Buckeye fans, huh? You can see I'm getting that grass, getting the dirt off the top of the grass. The more I drive over this, though, the harder it actually is going to be to get that off of there. And I grabbed it a little too deep right there. Sooners fan, okay. Hey, Brew, who you root for, buddy? So on my left hand, I'm controlling going forward and backwards. Right hand, I'm controlling the blade in the front. I push forward with the blade, and it goes down, pull back, it goes up. And again, if you've ever ran a zero-turn lawnmower, it basically is controlled the exact same way. As far as movement-wise. Oh, look at that, fellas. Fellettes. Just doing a little repositioning here. Glad y'all tuned in today. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out on this lovely Wednesday morning. Hopefully, if you're at work, you got paid to watch me work. If you didn't, I'm glad you stuck around anyway. It's kind of neat. It's not something you get to see every day. You know, there's a lot of people in this country, and they use as underground propane tanks, and you usually don't see this side of things. You have a great too, Grizzly. Great day, sir. So I'm going to try to get as much of this pile over here on the right done. Pushed over into that hole. And do the final grade like I did on that other side there. I appreciate those likes. Hopefully everybody that tuned in enjoyed the live. Yeah, that's coming along nicely. Look at that. Yeah, some of those hardworking guys, they're hard to find. They're hard to replace. That's all right. When it gets cold out, I turn the heat on in the cab here, and they stand out and watch me work. We'll do one more on this, and then I am going to quit until I can move the truck. Again, thank you all. You don't really need a license, buddy. You can get certificates in order to run one of these things. You get maybe a tech school or something like that. That's one way you can go about it. However, you don't have to have that. If you can prove you can run one, most companies will give you a shot. Again, you may have to work up. You might have to run a roller or something like that. Maybe a street sweeper before they, kind of let you go on your own and run excavators. I mean, you can really do a lot of damage with an excavator. So, you don't really need a license, though. At least not in the states that I work in. Now, obviously, every state is different, and they, may require something different. But as far as I know, as far as where I work, there's not a need for a license. I always drink responsibly backwards. Same to you, bud. I hope that answered the question. So I just, again, I like to leave things as nice as possible. No matter if I'll never see this person again or this customer again, I like to do a good job for them. My reputation means something to me, so try to always do what's right here. If this was my yard, I want it to be really nice, Anyway, certificates, you can look online. Just look for a heavy equipment operator training or, something like that. And you should be able to find out some information. Hope that helps. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. Been on here a couple hours, about 2 hours now. So I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to help my guys out, make sure everybody's taken care of. We get this crane down, and we're going to move on to the next one. I hope everybody has a great day. And again, thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you on the next one. Shine on.